Carl Jung was born on July 26, 1875. Jung was born in a village called Kaiswil in Thurgau, Switzerland. When he was 6 months old, the family moved to live near Laufen Castle, now the town of Laufen by the Rhine Falls. Jung's father was a pastor, and he was influenced by the family atmosphere since childhood and became interested in religion. However, he believed that his father, a priest, had lost his true faith and was unable to face reality. He could only talk about empty theological dogma. In addition, he himself had no feeling in his heart when receiving Holy Communion as a teenager, which did not meet his expectations. Very disappointed with Christianity, Carl Jung was a highly respected psychoanalyst and psychologist. His life was full of miraculous experiences, and his profound thoughts deeply influenced the development of modern psychology. Here are some of his true and funny stories and insightful quotes. From 1895 to 1900, Jung studied medicine at the University of Basel, and then obtained a position as an assistant physician at the Bergerzli Psychiatric Hospital in Zurich, where he interned under Bleuler. During this period, he conducted research on Galton's word association experiment and accumulated his initial reputation. Jung served as a lecturer in psychiatry at the University of Zurich in 1905, but later resigned and started his own practice. Jung was very interested in Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams, published in 1900, corresponded with it, participated in Freud's psychoanalytic movement, co-founded the International Psychoanalytic Society, and served as the first president, and later broke up due to differences in their doctrines. As a result of this rupture, Freud eliminated Jung's name. Jung took a unique approach and founded his own school of psychology. He delved into the individual psyche and collective unconscious and became one of the founders of analytical psychology. Jung was a professor at ETH Zurich and his alma mater, the University of Basel, and was awarded honorary doctorates by Oxford University and Harvard University. Died on June 6, 1961. Jung spent several years in depression after his break with Freud. He has seen visions and felt many ghosts gathering in his home. One of the visions was a winged and lame old Philemon, the other a beautiful lady. These two became his future examples of wise men and anima. He also had outstanding achievements in dream interpretation. Dreams reflect the subconscious mind, which psychologists attach great importance to. He estimates that he has interpreted about 80,000 dreams in total. The biggest difference between Jung's theory and Freud is that his theory has received more extensive research evidence. Compared with Freud's belief that dreams are an obscure expression of repressed wishes, Jung emphasized that dreams have a compensatory role. Dreams are not disguise and deception, but a book written in a special language. In the analysis of dreams, Jung emphasized that it should not be limited to individual dreams, but should focus on the series of dreams, focusing on the analysis of big dreams that have an important impact on individuals. At the same time, Jung also became interested in some mysterious phenomena of dreams. Jung divided dreams in chronological order into dreams that point to the past, that is, dreams that usually respond to past lives, dreams that are different at the same time, that is, an event dreamed about happened to happen at the same time in a certain corner of reality, and dreams that point to the past. Future dreams, i.e. prophetic dreams. The latter two violations of the law of causality cannot be explained by current science. Jung believed that we should look at it rationally from a phenomenological point of view, rather than simply denying rejection. Carl Jung's life is full of fascinating stories, and one of the most impressive and truly amusing stories concerns his dreams involving Pandora's box. In his Red Book, Jung detailed a fascinating dream that was directly related to the story of Pandora in Greek mythology. In a dream, Jung found himself walking into a mysterious palace with a huge Pandora's box. He felt a strong curiosity and couldn't help but open the box. In the dream, Jung was surprised to find that the box was not filled with disasters and misfortunes, but filled with colorful, mysterious, and wonderful scenes. This dream deeply influenced Jung's thinking, giving him a deeper understanding of the inherent complexity and deep positive potential of human beings. This dream reflects Jung's unique understanding of the individual psyche and the collective unconscious. He believed that the human inner being was not just a realm filled with shadows and negative elements, but a universe filled with creativity, potential, and wonder. The story became a symbolic element in Jung's psychological theory, expressing his belief in the positive side of the inner world. This story not only reveals Jung's unique vision as a psychologist, but also demonstrates his deep understanding of dreams and symbolism. Through such stories, Jung made people think more deeply about the inner mysteries of human beings and inspired them to explore their own potential. His broad cultural interests are also a major feature of his life. Communication with people from different cultures, especially the study of Eastern philosophy and religion, has influenced his theory and given it a more global perspective. Jung believed that there are personal subconscious and collective subconscious in the subconscious. He examined the religions, myths, legends, fairy tales, and dreams of primitive humans in Africa and America, and compared the religions, myths, legends, fairy tales, and dreams of Westerners and Easterners, and found many common prototypes. Jung believed that the collective subconscious is the deepest and most powerful part of personality. It is a genetic tendency formed by the accumulation of experiences of human ancestors over thousands of years. These genetic tendencies are called archetypes. Various archetypes manifest themselves unconsciously in dreams, hallucinations, fantasies, and neuroses. In contrast to Freud's atheistic orientation, Jung believed that the collective subconscious is filled with images of God. Quotations from Carl Jung. Who looks outside, dreams; who looks inside, awakes. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Woman is a source of terror. As a rule, a beautiful, a particularly beau woman is a terrible disappointment. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with objects it loves. Through pride we are ever deceiving ourselves. But deep down below the surface of the average conscience a still, small voice says to us something is out of tune. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. We should not pretend to understand the world only by the intellect. The judgment of the intellect is only part of the truth. Children are educated by what the grown-up is and not by his talk. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. There is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. I have treated many hundreds of patients. Among those in the second half of life, that is to say, over 35, there has not been one whose problem in the last resort was not that of finding a religious outlook on life. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. The man who promises everything is sure to fulfill nothing, and every Onu who promises too much is in danger of using evil means in order to carry out his promises, and is already on the road to perdition. Dreams are the guiding words of the soul. Why should I henceforth not love my dreams and not make their wriggling images into objects of daily consideration? The most intense conflicts, if overcome, leave behind a sense of security and calm that is not easily disturbed. LT is just these intense conflicts and their conflagration which are needed to produce valuable and lasting results. Without this playing with fantasy, no creative work has ever yet come to birth. The debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable. The collective unconscious consists of the sum of the instincts and their correlates, the archetypes. Just as everybody possesses instincts, so he also possesses a stock of archetypal images. We shall probably get nearest to the truth if we think of the conscious and personal psyche as resting upon the broad basis of an inherited and universal psychic disposition which is as such unconscious, and that our personal psyche bears the same relation to the collective psyche as the individual to society. We deem those happy who from the experience of life have learned to bear its ills without being overcome by them. Carl Jung. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved but only outgrown. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. Shrinking away from death is something unhealthy and abnormal which robs the second half of life of its purpose. Follow that will and that way which experience confirms to be your own.